Hi, today is May 26, 2024, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 813 for the year, Tactile Sculpture. I sailed past the first work on my left, checked my bag, walked a few paces, took note of the blue painting on the floor, then saw the entrance to the tactile sculpture. A guard was blocking the way, but I asked, and he told me it was open. The sign said there would be someone inside of the sculpture starting at 2, but the guard confirmed that there was already someone in there. I walked into the gallery and walked around the piece. In addition to the hole in the front, there was one in the back. The guard said I could only put my hand in the hole in the front, so I walked back around and put my hand in. There was a long sleeve of a jersey-like material, and once my hand got through to the end of the sleeve, I could feel something, or rather, someone. I could only bear to touch for the briefest of moments. Although it felt all right, although it felt fine, it also felt wrong. The rest of the show was paintings with some quotes by the artist Yves Klein. I'm glad I went and saw and felt, and I'm sorry that I waited until the last day to go. Poem number 814, Sweet Bitterness. I recognized the gallery. We went to a show there last year before I realized we could not be. There was a coldness and emptiness in going alone, and yet there was love and magic in the air. There was a warmth and a fullness as I walked through the rooms, failing to forget, almost not missing you, but still stupidly missing you. Poem number 815, Déjà Entendu. I mostly wrote those last two yesterday, and as I mostly wrote the last one, I had a déjà vu experience. I was on the 3 train, and I recalled me watching me writing the first 5 lines. The title didn't come until this morning. And as I wrote, I recalled having heard the conversation taking place across from me, which is, I suppose, déjà entendu and not déjà vu. How many stops? He asked. 2, she answered. 2, he asked, with an incredulity that was ameliorated once he realized he was on an express. I got off at 72nd, as I will continue to do for a few more weeks. I guess they got off at 96. Poem number 816, The Contagion of Inertia. It's a haiku. I would be inclined to move if you would move first. Till then, I'll stay here. Poem number 817, The Slightest Sense, The Strongest Feeling. There was only the slightest sense, so slight it was almost a lack of sense. It was almost nonsense, but it wasn't, as there was some small amount of sense to it. Then there was nothing but the strongest feeling, so strong it nearly knocked down nearby buildings. It almost did that, but it didn't, because feelings can rarely knock down buildings. Poem number 818, Appropriate Apostrophe. She said, nice one. He said, thanks, deliberately placing an apostrophe between the H and the A. It seemed appropriate. That might be messaged instead of said. I think I have to change that. He messaged nice. Poem number 818, Poem number 818, Appropriate Apostrophe. He messaged. Poem number 818, Appropriate Apostrophe. She messaged, nice one. He messaged, thanks, deliberately placing an apostrophe between the H and the A. It seemed appropriate. And the last poem of the day, poem number 819, Proper Punctuation. Sometimes punctuation is punctual, sometimes it's punchy, sometimes it's proper, sometimes it's inappropriate, which is to say, sometimes it's there when you need it, and sometimes it isn't, and sometimes it's there when you don't need it, and sometimes it isn't. Although I believe there are those who think of me as a maverick, I generally prefer proper punctuation. Punctuation that is punctual when it is invited over for tea and wears a top hat and a monocle and only asks for Earl Grey or English breakfast. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.